Hello everyone, this is Abhinav Pangaria. I am from India. My IDEX username is Abhinav Pangaria and my GitHub username is 18abhinav07. The date of recording this presentation is 6th of May 2024 and the topic that I have chosen is the Twitter data leak attack of December 4th, 2022. I chose this topic because it is an avid example of vulnerabilities in the system that are exploited by the hackers, which potentially lead to data leaks, ransomware attacks, and even phishing. On December 4th, 2022, Twitter suffered a massive data breach attack known as the Twitter data leak attack. This attack had far reaching implications for data security and privacy, and it is essential to understand the details of this incident, its aftermath, and the lessons learned. In this presentation, we will delve into the specifics of the attacks, analyze its implications, and discuss the necessary measures to enhance data protection and cybersecurity measures. The attack overview. The Twitter data leak attack involved unauthorized access to sensitive user data information, including personal messages, private information, emails, and phone numbers. The attackers exploited a vulnerability in Twitter's system which allowed them to gain unauthorized access to the critical data. In June 2021, Twitter made some updates to its code that introduced a critical API vulnerability. In January 2022, the vulnerability was discovered by a bug bounty hunter and the issue was resolved, as said by Twitter, without any ramifications. In July 2022, some new evidence came to light. It was reported that personal information of 5.4 million Twitter users was put on sale at a price of $30,000. The stolen data was then bought at a lower price and was likely published. According to the owner of a hacking forum breached, the API vulnerability allowed you to call the profile associated with a phone number and email ID. Allegedly, the hackers created a complete profile of 5.4 million Twitter users, covering phone numbers, email addresses, login IDs, and public information. This is how the data breach occurred. At the heart of it, it was just a simple API vulnerability. An application programming interface acts as a communication channel between applications. In Twitter's case, the vulnerability allowed this unauthorized access, which was there since June 2021 to January 2022, creating a window for attackers to exploit. This had many consequences. The attacker seized the opportunity, scrapping data of potentially over 200 million user profiles, images, etc. Imagine a phone book with millions of entries, all exposed. This stolen data then fueled a series of attempted ransomware attacks throughout 2022. Hackers threatened to release the data publicly unless Twitter paid a hefty ransom. While Twitter didn't succumb to the pressure, the situation escalated, leading to partial leaks in November 2022 and ultimately a whole leak in December 2023. Thus, this breach had a really long timeline from June 2021 to December 2023, causing severe leaks and user exploitation. There were many implications for data security that this breach taught us. The Twitter data leak attack highlighted the critical need for enhanced cybersecurity measures to protect user data. It underscored the importance of proactive security protocols, including encryption, multi factor authentication, and regular security audits. Organizations must prioritize data security and implement robust measures to safeguard sensitive information from unauthorized access. One key implication of the attack is the need for stronger encryption protocol. Encryption is a crucial tool for protecting data in transit and at rest, ensuring that even if unauthorized access is gained, the data remained unreadable without the proper decryption keys, thus forming an additional bond of security. Now, the question arises that how can companies like Twitter and other social media can avoid these types of attack and fortify their digital defenses? Let me provide some crucial steps. The most important step is patching the leaks. Vulnerability management must be prioritized. Regularly patching software and API is paramount. Once Twitter identified the API vulnerability in January 2022, immediate patching was critical. Delays created opening for attackers. Treat software updates like putting a lock on your door. The sooner, the better. Building stronger walls. Implementing robust security measures. Going beyond patching, companies need a multi layered approach for betterment of their security. This includes measures like multi-factor authentication, adding an extra layer of verification during logins, make unauthorized access significantly harder, data access controls, limiting access to user data only to those who absolutely need it reduces the attack's surfaces. Transparency in times of trouble. Open communication builds trust. During a data breach, clear and timely communication with users is crucial. Explain the situation, the steps being taken to address it, and how to mitigate potential risks for users. Transparency builds trust and fosters a sense of security. Data breaches are more common than the reports would suggest. API based attacks are more popular now than ever, and the fact that no password is stored is hardly any consolation. Twitter has deep pockets and it can survive both the ransomware and the penalties. A lot of small and mid-sized businesses may fail to bounce back from something like this. For Twitter, the chip started failing following a code update that introduced an API vulnerability that eventually wreaked havoc. It reestablished the fact that you need a vulnerability scan every time you update your code. You need this process to be automated so that you never miss it. Checking the API and the management is a must for all these companies, and you must mention and advocate that your API validation protocols are solid. These type of attacks have severe legal consequences which question the moral and ethics of the society, which are as follows. The Twitter data leak attack raised significant legal and ethical questions regarding data protection and privacy regulations. It prompted discussions about the need for stricter regulations and ethical guidelines for handling user data. Organizations must comply with applicable data protection laws and regulations such as GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation in Europe, and the California Consumer Privacy Act (CCPA) in the United States. In case of Twitter, Twitter failed to validate and rule along the GDPR. Ireland thus was asked to pay $500,000 in compensation. From an ethical perspective, the attack underscored the importance of upholding the principles of data privacy and respecting users' trust. Organizations have a moral obligation to implement robust security measures and ensure the responsible handling of user data. Failure to do so can have severe consequences, including loss of consumer trust, legal liabilities, and reputational damage. Conclusion. The Data Data Leak attack serves as a wake up call for organizations to prioritize data security and privacy. It underscores the urgency of implementing robust cybersecurity measures and complying with stringent data protection regulations to safeguard user information. Organizations must learn from this incident and take proactive steps to enhance their security posture, including regular security audits, employee training, and the adoption of industry best practices for data protection. The 2023 Twitter data leak serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights the importance of contagious vigilance and cybersecurity. By prioritizing patching vulnerabilities, implementing stronger security measures, and communicating openly with users, companies can significantly reduce the risks of similar attacks. Thus, the companies can work together to create a more secure digital space for all its consumers and for all of us. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you.